Okay, so is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in the last class, we have learned about nested loop. Nested loop, right? And just allow me 1 minute to 2 minutes to let's briefly explain this nested loop. So looping is basically used when we have same task need to be performed again and again, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Need to be performed again and again. Okay. Now let's think of a situation where I need to print the output to hello world 10 times. So in this case we have the same output, but we need to repeat it 10 times, right? So we can clearly see that here we need to use a loop. Let's see the output of this one. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. So for this and for this, how can I do this? Simply just see out 1, see out 2, see out 3, right? But it is the same task performing again and again. So instead of that I can use a for loop. So for I int I is equals to 1 because it is started from 1, then I is less than or equals to 3 because it is go up to 3, and then I plus plus. Inside write C out whatever the value of I, and then a end ln, so that the next output should be in the next line. That's it. Alright. So this for loop is basically to print this output, right? But we have a situation where I need to print this one, the 1 2 3 again and 1 2 3 again, 3 times total. So do I need to use this for loops 3 times? Second, first, second, third, the same for loop? I need to write the same for loop for second time. I need to write the same for loop for third time, right? So here we can see that again we have some repetition of code, right? The same for loop 3 times. Okay, now it's only 3 times. What will happen if I have to print this output 10 times? 1 2 3, 1 2 3, up to 10 times. 1 2 3. Do I need to again write this for loop 10 times? Is that an efficient way? Obviously,
No, ma'am.
obviously no. So instead of using the same for loop again, what we can do is that we can use the outer loop to repeat the inner loop. I already have explained this one, but a little introduction. So let's suppose I need to print this 1 2 3 10 times as my output. So I know that this for loop is something like this. For int I is equals to 1, I is less than or equals to 3, I plus plus, cout I indolent. Alright. So as we can see that this for loop is needed to be repeated how many times? 10 times. Right? So can I use a for loop so that this for loop can be repeated 10 times? Yes, we can do so. So here I am going to create j is equals to 1, j is less than or equals to 10, j plus plus, and now what is this? This is our inner for loop, and this is our outer for loop. what exactly is happening here? Let's have a trial run for this, a short trial run. So whenever the compiler will compile this program, first of all it will come to this for loop. So in this for loop we have a variable called j and it is initialized with 1, right? And j is less than or equals to 10. When this statement becomes true, this inside whatever the statements, whatever the for loop, whatever the while loop, whatever it will be, it is going to be completed, right? In our previous example we have just seen the cout statement, but this time this for loop has another for loop inside it, right? So this is termed as nested for loop. We can have a for loop inside a for loop. We can have multiple for loops inside a single for loop. So this is termed as nested for loop. And why do we use this type of nested for loop? Because we already have seen that this is to be printed, it can be used to print using for loop, right? But I need the same output again 10 times. So do I need to write that same for loop 10 times? This will be not an efficient code. So that's why we have a outer for loop to repeat this inner for loop 10 times. How it is exactly going to be run? So this j is equals to 1. Let me just trial run this. J is equals to 1. And now when this statement is going to be true, and by the way, which type of a statement is this?
Condition.
It is a condition, okay. And what type of expression is this?
Which one, ma'am?
Yeah, this one, j is less than or equals to 10. Which type of expression is this?
I don't know, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay. Yes. In our previous classes, we have learned about integral expression, float expression, relational expressions, right? So, this is a kind of relational expression. Expression means something which gives some output. Integral expression returns some integer value. Float expression returns a float value, and relational expression return two values, whether it is true or false. So here we can see that j is less than or equals to 10. So it is going to return true or false only, right? So this is a kind of relational expression. So make sure to remember these kind of things. Alright, coming to the R point. So we have j is less than or equals to 10, which is going to be true. Now when it is come inside this for loop, this encountered a second for loop which is termed as inner for loop. Now this for loop is going to be completed, only then this increment is going to happen. So here we have 4 I is equals to 1. Okay. I is less than or equals to 3. Yes, it is. So it is going to print what? Cout in I. So what is the value of I? I value is 1. So it is going to print 1. Now again I plus plus. It is still inside this for loop. So I plus plus, which basically means I value will be incremented by 1. Again it is less than 3. Yes, so it is going to print 2 here. Again I plus plus. So it is going to be 3. 3 is less than or equals to 3. Yes, it is. So again it is going to print 3. Again I plus plus. Now it's become 4. So 4 is not less than 3, right? So this statement is going to return false, which basically means this for loop has been completed. Now this here the end, when the end will be occur, then it is going to increment the value of j plus plus. So we have j once and then it is going to be 2, right? Now again after the increment, again the condition is going to be evaluated. J is less than or equals to 10. So 2 is less than or equals to 10, right? So again it is going to be true. So again this for loop is going to be repeated, and it is again going to print what? 1 2 3, right? So again after completing this for loop, the outer for loop is going to be incremented by 3. So this way it is going to print 1 2 3 10 times. I hope you understand or not have any problem to understand this.
Yes.
All right. So basically we are going to practice some questions based on this nested for loop. So that one a very simple one. Now you guys can try something like this. 5 4 3 2 1, 5 4 3 2 1, 5 4 3 2 1. What will be the code to print the same 3 times? Is there any problem to solve this?
Yes, ma'am. Hello?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Are you able to solve this problem?
No, ma'am, I have.
Okay. So the
I
first
tried to do it now, but
okay. So the first thing would be to just see this output. This is very easy, right? So what will be the for loop code? We have 4, and from where it is started? It is started from 5. So I will just write int I is equals to 5, right? Because it has started from what? 5. Okay. Now the condition part. What the condition I need to be shown here or need to apply here?
if I is
I is,
greater than or equals to 1,
yes, that's right. I is greater than or equals to 1. And now the increment on decrement part. So we can clearly see here that the value is decrementing one by one, right? So we just need to apply I is equals to I minus 1, which is equals to I minus minus. We can simply write something like this. We are going to learn about this sort expressions but later, but for now you can use this one. All right. Or in this inside cout, I just need to print the I value. That's it. Okay. So this one is very easy one. Now we have the again this for and this the same output but 3 times. So instead of writing the for loop 3 times, just the same as here, for int I is equals to 5, the same output, the same line of code, instead of writing that, can I repeat this for loop 3 times? Is that possible? Just the same way, if I need to print cout hello world 10 times, then I'll just use the for loop, right? Because the cout statement is need to be repeated 10 times, but now the same output 3 times. So can I repeat this for loop 3 times? Is that possible? Yes, it is. We need to have an outer for loop to repeat this for loop how many times? 3 times only. So I will use a different for loop and make sure to give different name, because this I, and if I suppose I give the same name as I, so now this is will be confusing because both the values or both the variables are local variables, right? So in a particular house it will be quite confusing, two persons with the same name, right? But in the world, one name can be associated with so many people, right? But because this is a home for this for loop and this for loop, so it can be considered as a home for both of them. So we cannot use the same variable name inside a home, right? So make sure to give different name to the variable. So here we have used I. Now here I can use anything like j, k. So let's just use j. J is equals to, I need to repeat this for loop how many times? 3 times. So I will initialize with 1, I, j is less than or equals to 3, and j plus plus. That's it. So now this for loop, inside this inner for loop, is going to be repeated 3 times, right? And this cout statement is going to repeat it how many times? No. On a single term it is going to repeat it 5 times. But when j plus plus, right? When uh, we have just seen the trial run of this, right? So when the j value is 1, it is going to repeat it how many times? 5 times. It is going to be repeated 5 times, this cout statement. And now j plus plus, suppose j plus plus, j value is 2, then this for loop is again going to be repeated, right? So this cout statement is going to repeat it 5 times again, and then again j plus plus, so 3, and now it is again going to be repeated how many times? 5 times. So in total we have one outer for loop and inner for loop. So whatever the multiplication of these two is, this cout statement is going to be executed. So the outer for loop is going to be executed 3 times, and the inner for loop is going to be executed for each j value 5 times, right? So 3 into 5, in total 15 times this cout statement is going to be executed. You can clearly see here that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 plus 5, 10, and 10 plus 5, 15. Right? So this for loop is going to be executed, or can be will be executed 3 times, but this cout is going to be executed 15 times. Okay, now let's try this one. Is all right. Are you able to solve this, or is there any problem you are facing?
No, ma'am, so far.
All right.
What if the number is not sequential, like they're not same? Like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the another one maybe goes 5.
Something like
Another
this.
one goes, sorry?
Something like this one.
I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yes, maybe now. This is another good example you've given, but you can get, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5, 5, 4, 3, 1 at the same time.
Okay.
For the same thing you are talking about, a nested loop within a loop.
Okay. Let me explain this one. So let's say I need an output something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 5, 4, 3, 2, and then let's say 6, 7, 8, 9.
No, no, please. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Let's say they are running even concurrently, like here one, and then after one, just we have five followed, adjacent to one.
1.
Adjacent, I'm saying, you say here we have five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Uh-huh.
Just adjacent to one, we have five. Alafu 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Adjacent, just like a matrix. Just
This-
like a matrix.
Just like a matrix. Okay.
Yeah, a matrix, yeah. Yes. Yes, something of the sort. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And then here we have, but the number should be one is decrementing, another one is incrementing. For example,
In that case, we need to use a for loop. Let me look.
yes.
For this, something like this one. Suppose this one is the output. So for that case, I need to use something like for loop. Inside this, we need to have two for loop. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, so in this case, we can clearly see that this output is different than this one, and these are both the same. Okay, or this is also different. So in that case, what we can do is that we can have an outer loop, and inside that outer loop we can use different for loops inside this. So we are going to see that. Don't worry about that. We are going to cover all of them, the matrix one as well.
Okay, we are yet to tackle that.
Yes. We have just learned about nested for loop, so we need to have some patience.
Whatever you gave us assignment last time.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to see on how to use the loop within a loop, to print out the
Okay.
those pictorial representation. Like you have, I can draw a shape using a loop within a loop. So one is decrementing, one is decrementing.
We
I can
we
give a shape like a graph.
yes. We are going to see all of them. But first, I need the output of this one.
Okay.
So what will be
So,
the code for this first of all?
for that,
Mm-hmm.
so we can
Can you write down in the chat box or somewhere in the copy or pen?
okay. But this one will take us time. Why can't I explain to you very fast? Because you have a pen. Like we have, I can say, for loop,
Mm-hmm.
we shall have two for loops.
All right.
The outer and the inner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then for first, then the first one we shall each, okay, each I, one will break on one I and another one, the second one will be J, for example, or K.
All right. So what?
Then for the first,
Mm-hmm.
sorry?
Yeah. Explain.
Okay. First, let us speak for just one. Okay. For I,
Mm-hmm.
we shall initialize with one.
All right.
Then we give it a condition
Mm-hmm.
that is I is less or less or equal, greater or equal, less or equal to
Mm-hmm.
5.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can continue incrementing I.
Okay. I plus plus. That's it.
Yes.
And for
Then
this,
we can pass, we can see out I, then when we see out I, we end line.
so For this
Then
J, what?
number two. Sorry? Right,
That
let's avoid that. Huh?
that would be more useful if you can write in the chat books or anywhere in the copy or notepad, because I think while explaining you are quite confused, because here it is not is going to be 1 is less than or equals to 5. This one is wrong.
Sorry?
This condition
Oh,
is
okay.
going to be wrong.
Just remove. Just this condition is wrong.
Yes.
Is if I is less, I is less or equal to 5. Then you can show me, madam, if it's wrong. I may not have gotten it right.
Yes, yes. That's why I'm asking you to use any notepad or pen paper. While writing by your own, you can have some uh, imaginations you can use by your own if you write yourself.
Okay, let me confirm.
Yes.
I tell you. Oh, my God.
Mira, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So, have you come with any line of code?
Ma'am, for the conditions that for the process that we're gonna do here,
Mm-hmm.
the sample was the first one is increment, the second one is decrement. Oh, so increment.
No, no, no.
Oh,
Both
I don't
threes
know.
are both these three are same, not different one. It is
Okay. Oh,
very much relating to our previous example.
yes. But a while ago, our classmate or the other students
Oh,
from
no,
the
no, no.
previous exam,
He was just asking. So we are going to
yes, he
solve
was
that
asking
one.
if we can.
We are going to solve that one later, but for now, this
Okay, ma'am.
question.
So for that question, okay,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna try that one.
James. Okay.
Sorry, I said before inviting another, but this one runs and brings money.
So have you done?
I've shared with checkbooks, but
Okay.
I'm correcting what somebody said.
Mm-hmm. No, this. How can it be so? I mean, okay. So we are learning about nested for loop, right? And what you have written there. Let me just. So this one is your output, right? So this.
Oh, I need to make it print okay, 15 times.
I don't want any explanation. I just need the output of this
Okay,
line of code because I already have explained this one and just a little modification I want. Okay, so are you facing any problem solving this one?
I think you can just elaborate it more, so don't take much time, please.
So, are you not able to solve this problem? Because look, I want to be very practical session. This one should be. I just don't want to cover only theoretical parts. If this question is not, are you not able to solve, then I need to repeat the for loop again.
Usually I'm not able to solve.
All
My
right.
side, personally. That's
Okay.
what I does. Whatever I've wrote is what I understand.
All right. All right. Then just let me explain this one. Mira, are you able to solve this one?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay. 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 Let me explain this one more time.
Please.
So, in general, when do we use for loop? When we have
When we
same
have
task
over and over.
over and over. Okay. Okay. So, let's say I want to print something. Hello world. Hello world. Hello world. Hello world. Hello world. 10 times. So we can see that this is the same output, or you can say a single C out. The same message need to be printed on the screen but multiple times. So instead of writing multiple C out, what can I do? I can just simply use a for loop, and in this for loop, whatever the number of times I need to repeat, I need to make sure that this C out is going to be executed that time. Right, let's say I want to C out, I want to write this hello world 10 times. So I need to make sure that this C out should be executed 10 times, right? Then only I can achieve this output of printing hello world 10 times. This cout should be executed 10 times, right? Okay. And we have learned in our for loop, if there is something which is going to repeat, so I can use for loop, right? How many times this cout? 10 times need to be executed. So I need to have three expressions here, something which is going to execute this cout 10 times. So first of all, hello world first time, then second time again hello world, third time hello world again, and this will be continue 10 times hello world, right? Okay. So here we can see clearly that first time this hello world, second time this hello world, third time this hello world. It basically need to have a variable int I is equals to 0, or you can say 1, not 0, because first time we need this hello world. So when this will be condition, and I need to have a condition so that this is going to execute 10 times. This cout should be executed how many times? 10 times. So if it is going to start from 1, then what number I need to be up to? 10 times, right? So I is less than or 10, I plus plus. Why plus plus? Because we can clearly see this is the first output, second, third, fourth. So it is incremented one by one. So I plus plus. That's it. Now when I run this for loop, it is going to be execute this cout 10 times. When the I value will be 11, so 11 is not less than or equals to 10. This is going to return what? False. Now this cout is not going to run. So basically this for loop makes sure that this cout should only execute 10 times, not 11 times or 12 times or less than 10 times, right? So this is going to execute 10 times. Okay, so if I want to repeat something, what can I do? Let's say I want to repeat something 115 times, the same output 115 times. What can I do? Again I need to start with 1 and I will go up to 115, right? So little modification in this condition will be, it will be just I is less than or equals to 115. That's it. Is there anything else need to be changes? No, because I need the same output, but only the difference is now I want to go from 1 to 115. So just the condition part is going to be changed, nothing more than that. All right. So we have seen that if something needs to be repeated again and again, then I need to start from 1 and go up to that number of times. If it is 115, then go up to 115. If it is 10, then go up to 1 to 10. If it is 1 to 1000, then go 1 to up to 1000. Right? Okay, that's clear to us. That very much clear to us. Now, look at this question. We have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But here nothing is repeating, right? This value is different. This one is also different. Both the 5 values, 5 all values are different. Then why we are using for loop here? I mean, for loop is going to be used when the same output, same task need to be performed multiple times. But this output is totally different, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so why we are going to use for loop here? Then the question arises. So the answer is, we have in our for loop one last part which is termed as increment or decrement part. Remember?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So now look at this. We have started from 1, we have then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. This here not the same output, but one thing is common. All the values are incremented by 1, right? Okay. So this is not just a previous one, hello world, where we have the same output but multiple times. The values are different here, but again has some connections with the previous one. If it is 1, then it then 3, then 3, then 4, meaning plus 1 is only there, right? 1 plus 1 2, then 2 plus 1 3, then 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 1 5. Okay, so here we have different output but have some connections with the previous one. All right, so we have seen here in our increment and decrement part of the for loop. Okay, so now I understand that why I need to use this for loop, because we already have a connection. If something like 1, 2, 9, 8, 7, here we cannot use for loop. Why? Because this 2 has no connection with the previous one, this 9 has no connection with 2, right? So here we can't use this for loop. I need to have different cout for each and every one. But this case is different than this one. this has some connections with the previous one. 1, then 1 plus 1, which is equals to 2, then again 2 plus 1 is equals to 3, then again 3 plus 1 is equals to 4, 4 plus 1 is equals to so we can clearly see that this is going to be started from 1 1 1 1, or you can say 0 plus 1, not this one. 0 plus 1 is equals to 1. So we have a something like plus 1 everywhere, right? We can clearly see this. Plus 1 in each and every statement. So we can now understand that, okay, so this has some relationship, some connections. Every statement is going to be have plus 1, right? So we can use this increment and decrement part. Now I can use this for loop. So the for loop is very simple. Int I is equals to whatever the value is going to be started. I'll just initialize the value here. I is less than what number of time I needed? 5 times. So less than or equals to 5, I plus plus. Just think of this output for now. So I'll just simply write cout I. Right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now the next part. But we don't need only this output. We have two more the same output. Right? So the easiest part would be I can just simply write this for loop 3 times. As simple as it is. Right? But in programming,
But this is this very difficult to.
yes, okay, let's say if it is only 3 times. Now let's say suppose we have to same output 100 times. 100 times. This will be 100th time. Then I need to again write this for loop how many times? 100 times. But we have just learned about for loop, right? We have learned that if something is repeating again and again, over and over, then we can use this for loop, right? So why we are doing again the same mistake, repeating some line of code? This for loop is have written multiple times, but there is no difference in these three for loops, right? So instead of writing these three for loops, what can I do is that I need this output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And again I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have the same output but 3 times. And suppose instead of this code, this output, I need something like uh, C++, cout C++, cout C++, cout C++. So what will be the for loop for this? Not this one. Forget about this one. This one only. I need this cout 3 times. What can I do? I'll just simply write for I int I is equals to 1, I is less than or equals to 3, I plus plus, right? And inside this I'll just simply write cout I and write cout let's say hello world I need to print it, or C++, so I'll just simply write C++. Okay, so if this cout statement can be repeated using this for loop, then why can't we use this repeated suppose this is not the number, suppose this is something similar to C out. This is a simple, this is a simple one, this is the simple one, right? Right. So compare with the C out. If we have, instead of this we have C out C plus plus to be repeated, what line of code I will write? I will just simply write this one, right? C out C plus plus, C out C plus plus. So instead of that I can simply write this line of code, this for loop, to print this C out 3 times. So just compare with this C out with this output. We already have written the code to print this output, and I just need to repeat this output 3 times. That's it. So now instead of using this C out, I will write whatever the line I need to, whatever the code of line I need to print this one. So inside this I'll just simply write int j is equals to 1, and I have just explained in our home both two person cannot have same name. It will be quite confusing for us, right? So this for loop can be considered for now as a home. So we cannot have I and I here. We have need a different name. J is less than or equals to 5, j plus plus. C out j. So this for loop is basically for this one, and this for loop is basically to repeat this one 3 times. This is for this the purpose.
According to your code,
Uh-huh.
J should be less. Then J should be less or equal to 3. So that when we say int J, sorry,
No.
can you
No.
hear me?
Yes.
I am saying if that is the case, then we should print while J is less or equal to 3.
No.
So
That
that
would.
when we say,
That would
so,
be wrong. That would be wrong. Let me explain first. This for loop is going to be used to
why
repeat.
can't we, why can't we run it on a program so that we see it running at least? It becomes easier. In
Uh,
fact, when we do it running a program, it becomes very easy. Yes.
okay. All right. I'll just write the same line of code and then try to execute them. So our line of code is something like this.
Then I plus plus.
Yes.
Then for the second loop, that is we int j is initialized with 1, then j is less than or equal to 5 plus plus self j and length.
Okay, I think what the problem is, you guys are confusing with what the purpose of this for loop and what is the purpose of this for loop, right? Uh-huh. Okay, let's just quickly run the program.
Yes, let's just run it so that we're able to understand.
Yeah, the output will be the same, but the problem is,
include string using namespace standard the int. Now, the initialize of int I equals to 1, I rest equals to 5. No, that one was 5.
Yeah, 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 sorry.
Yes, it was 5.
No, 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 it was with 3. No, I was wrong. It is going to
Sorry,
be.
it was,
It is going to be 3.
was it 3?
Yes, yes. Because the purpose of this output is to
Yes,
repeat.
according to what you have written previous,
Yeah, this one.
I was 5. That's why I'm following your code. And I was kind of telling you should be.
Look,
Sorry?
this is I is less than or equals to 3, j is less than or equals to 5. In my previous
Okay.
code, I have just used 4 here, j here, and inside this, I have used I here, int I.
Okay. Okay. Let's carry on further.
Yeah.
That one is going to bring j equals to 1 multiplied by let's repeat then comment self j is equals to 1 j equals to 10 line return 0 delta run.
Okay, I just done a silly mistake here. J plus plus. Okay, so we have the output something like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me just magnify.
End line on the other one.
Okay, so 1, 2,
End
3,
line
4, 5. Then here it starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
rest of
2 times, and this one third time. Right? So our output is okay. So this line of code is okay. But the problem is to understand. Mm, let me try one more time.
Mama, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I made my own. It's somewhat similar but different from the one that you made.
It,
The only difference is that
haha.
my question is in my program
Mm-hmm.
I what the term is assigned a I defined
Can you
that
share your screen? It,
yes ma'am. Wait. Can you see my screen, ma'am?
yes, yes. So we have 4 I is equals to 1 I is less
Here
than.
I still need to do this or not anymore because we have
No, 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 no. No, your line of code is absolutely right. Yes, yes.
but not here.
Yeah, yeah. That's because in our for loop, inside our for loop, we can also declare a variable.
Ah, okay. So if we put here the in, it
Mm-hmm.
will define all these.
Mm-hmm. Then only it will be accessible to only within this for loop. Let me share
Outside
my
this
screen.
phone.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Okay, ma. Thank you, ma.
So what you have written is that you have just int I is equals comma j, and then we have started for loop here, right?
Yes, ma.
But in my case, I have declared this int I and int j inside this for loop. So the difference is that suppose I want to access this I or j only within this for loop, then I can go for this type of initialization. But suppose if I want to access this I and j outside this for loop, let's say I want to show the last value of I or j, right? So this line of code will be generate error if I have declared the for loop, I mean the variable inside the for loop. But for this one it is going to execute, doesn't show any error. The difference is that if I declare some variable inside this for loop, then it is going to be accessible only within this block.
Okay.
And if I declare outside it, so it is going to be accessible here and here as well. So it is basically inside defined main function. Okay, okay, let me just clear it. So if I
Now,
will
once you're talking about a global and you're talking about a global and local
variables, yeah, yeah. So
variables.
this variable is going to be local for this for loop, but this variable is going to be for this main block, accessible within main block. But we cannot have the same name within this main block, because here we have a main block of main, right? And inside we have two variables with the same name. It is something similar to this is our home, which is termed for a program as a main. So main is a home, okay? And in our home we cannot have, or we should not have, two members with the same name, right? So this is again which is very confusing, but it can be assigned because we are in exception case we can have this two members with the same name. So suppose let's make it clear more. Okay, let me write int main int I is equals to 5, or let's say for int I is equals to 1, I is less than or equals to 3, I plus plus, and inside this I will print cout I, and here I will write cout I. Okay, so
Why can't we use the program so that we're able to see the result?
yes, yes, I'll program that too, but for first let me explain this. So here we have two
Okay.
variables, int I, same name, but we have a different memory location for both, right? So this one is suppose this I, and this one is suppose this one within our for block. Okay, so now let's suppose what will be the output of this line of code. Here we have I, and again we have inside this for loop I. So it is going to clearly see that for I is equals to 1, cout I, which I it will going to be access, whether this one or this one.
Okay. Okay. I think it's somewhat confusing. You're saying
The second
it
one.
Yes, the
the
second
one that
one,
is going to be accessed.
this one is going to be accessed. Why? because we have learned about local variables and global variables. Local variable is something can be termed as our home, and global variable can something which can anyone access. Even I can access. Suppose this is my home and this is the world. So in this world I can access anything, and anyone else can also access there, right? So this for loop can be termed as a world.
Just a moment, please.
Yes,
Just
please.
a moment, please.
Mm-hmm.
Something physical clarification slightly. What if on the same note, on the same arrangement we are saying, if we say for instead of inserting int I is equals to 1,
Mm-hmm.
we just leave that space empty, for example,
Uh-huh.
because we are referring to it which is equals to 5, and then we say I should be less or equal to 5.
Okay.
And then
Okay. Let me
plus,
explain. Let me
is equal to
explain.
plus.
Let me explain.
Yes.
It is going to be run, but what exactly will happen? There is a term which is as what does it say? Garbage value. Yeah, garbage value. What does it exactly mean? Suppose this is my home, and I am outside my home for the from the last 3 months. Let's say suppose, okay, or I haven't visited my home once, not a once time. I mean, I haven't visited my home. So what the member will be inside this home? No other members are there. Let's say suppose this home is completely empty, no one is there. So what the value will be there? What will be the inside? Obviously some dust will be here and there, right? So in the same way, when we declare some variables, so this is our all memory, and when we declare any variable, it is going to locate a location, right? And the name of the location will be whatever the variable name I have given. So if suppose I am not going to initialize this with 5, so in C++ what happen is that in our memory some garbage value is already there. It can be anything, no prediction, it can be anything. So this garbage value is going to be printed if I haven't initialized with this. And it can be anything. It depends totally on our memory, on our computer, on our processor.
So my question was, is it going to the space? Is it going to consider like the? I was making a consideration that if we
We are
already
going to
initialize.
see, we are going to see in practical. Don't worry about that. We are going to just skip this initialization and just see the output.
Yes.
So
I was referring
okay,
to
so
one
i
of
was
yes.
i was i was talking about what the value is this I is going to be considered. So for this I, it is going to consider this, right? What this
Okay,
I is going to be printed? What will be the output of this C out?
The first one.
The first one, right? Because this I is only accessible within this block of code, and this C
Yes.
out is out of this block, right? And this come within this block, right? This C out is within this block. So obviously this C out is going to print value of this I, right? Now let's run the program and see the output. Here we have I, and now let's skip the initialization part. Okay, let's compile and run this. All right, so what exactly happened is that it has initialized with default value. And now what the default value is. Okay, so we have learned something which is termed as default, right? So in our data type, whatever it can be, like in, but boolean, we have learned about boolean as well, or bool, or you can, what else, we have just learned three of them, or string as well. Okay, so what exactly happened, I think in C language, not in C++. In C language, if we do not initialize some value to the variables, it is going to have some garbage value. But in C++, they have some default values. So for int, if we do not initialize, it is going to be initialized with 0. For float, it is going to initialize with 0.0. For bool, it is going to be false. The bool can only two values, true or false. So the default value is false. String will have an empty string. Nothing will be inside. Empty string.
Okay, can you run the program again kindly?
Yes, yes,
There's
yes.
something I want you to yes, the from where you are, I want you to delete it I
Uh-huh.
up to it. Just delete from where you are. From I and delete also I. This the first I, yes, then this one. Yes.
So it is going to insert, it is going to consider this I.
Why is it going to consider that? Yet we are saying this one is for a this one is for
Okay, okay.
local variable.
One more thing. We have three statements inside a for loop, right? For we have three statements inside this for loop, right?
Yes.
This one is termed as initialization or declaration. This one is termed as condition, and this one is termed as decrement or increment.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now suppose that I want a for loop which is going to be executed every time. I mean, I don't want have any condition to stop. So what can I pass here? I can just simply pass here true. So whenever it will come to in is I mean whenever this will come to the condition part, it is always going to be true. So whatever the inside this, it is going to be executed every time. So when our whole memory, whole processor is going to be stopped working, then it is going to stop only, right? Because every computer or laptop or system has some limitations in term of memory or processor. Okay, so we can pass here true. But what if I want to not to initialize here? I mean, I already have an integer value I is equals to 8, and I don't want a variable to again initialize. What can I do? I can just simply skip this part. But the mandatory part is that I need to use this semicolon. Skip this one.
Yes.
I can
Yes.
I can skip this expression.
When you escape, there will be an error. So, yes.
I can skip this part, but I cannot skip this semicolon. I need to use these two semicolons. Whether it has some conditions or expression or not, or it doesn't have, but I need to use this two semicolons. These are mandatory. This is the syntax actually. This is the syntax of for loop. The for keyword, and then the bracket, middle bracket, and then you need to use this semicolon. Two semicolons will be there. So,
Okay.
so for this case, what is going to happen actually? First of all, if I let's skip this part. So first of all, this for loop will come here, and because there is no initialization and declaration part, right? There is no initialization and declaration part, so it just can skip here. It will just come to this condition part, and then if the condition becomes true, then this cout is going to be executed. And when the whole statements, let's say we have multiple tasks need to be completed inside this for loop, so then when the all task has been completed, then it is going to increment this I plus plus, right? So what this I is, this one we already have used this one, right? If let's suppose I haven't used this one, then what will happen? Now it is going to show an error.
Yes, yes,
Why? Because this I is not, it is unknown, and the error will be same as that. I was not declared in this scope. I already have told you that this open braces and closing braces is termed as scope, right? So it just simply says that this I is not declared, not used, not, it is just simply unknown to the program, right? So the thing is, we can have this initialization and declaration part here, or we can just simply done this here as well.
You know why I raised that question?
Uh-huh.
Is because my other fellow student had already initialized. Like she initialized the I and J,
Uh-huh.
and then you the answer was just similar to what you brought us, but you were explaining about the global and local variables. Then I got confused. Like when, for example, we have declared and we now make an assumption that we don't declare for the int I, just like whatever you have done. What happens? Is it going to treat it as a local variable or just going to treat it as a global variable?
This I is going to be local for this main, because we have declared this I inside this main. But when I declare something here, int I is equals to, let's say, 1, so this I is only accessible within this braces only, this closing braces only accessible within this for loop. But when I declare this I here, it can be accessed within this whole main function.
Okay.
And okay, let's continue. So where we are? Okay, so we I'm explaining this program, right? So let's say we have cout 10,
Yes, please.
we have cout 10 times, then instead of writing 10 times cout, I need for loop. In the same way, when I need out this output 3 times, right? So why I can't use for loop again? Because I need the same output, just like this one we have cout. So first of all, I need to write the program to show something this one, and then I need a for loop to repeat this one. So the first outer loop is to repeat, is used to repeat, okay? And the inner for loop here, inner for loop is what I want, this one. I want this output always, right? Over and over 3 times. So just in the same way, if I can repeat this cout 3 times, so in the same way I can repeat this output 3 times using one more for loop. Okay, So now you understand, guys, or still you have any confusion?
Okay, to me, I can say bit I'm thinking.
Okay, so I think it's enough for today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so see you in the Monday class then.
Um, thank
Yeah,
you, thank you.
thank you for now.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
1.5 घंटा हो गया आज तो.